K-Dog here. Coming on here, and what you're about to see is a number of videos that I produced while I was in college at Vincennes University. Some things are editing projects, some things are actual video shoots that I had to go out and videotape. Yes, videotape. On DVD, basically DVD quality video of what we would call ENG photography. The ENG stands for electronic news gathering. And so what you're about to see is a collection of videos. There is a resume video that's within this tape. Now you're going to see a lot of repeated stuff. Okay, the first three things that you're going to see is an editing project that I had to do 3 times. And it's the same PSA commercial called for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the first one actually was a mishap, was not very well, so it's on there because I just didn't want to erase it. And they always tell us when you're doing broadcasting or anything like that, anything that you create or make, save it, good or bad. And that's pretty much with any career choice. If you do it, if it's not done correctly or done poorly, save it still. And there's a good reason why, because it's a reference point to see how far you've come. So the first thing you're going to see is 3 different versions of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The first one is the really bad one. The second one is the redo, which is a great improvement. And then the third one was, because I had to take the class over again for obvious reasons, is the third version, and it's different voiceover, different video, different title. And then there's a resume video which I took my best projects and put them into this edited them together in this video. And there's also a spot for, it's pretty much like the Make-A-Wish Foundation video, but it's with the Ford Motor Company. Now, these were projects that we put together, okay? So there's a good chance that they probably went out on the air, and there's a good chance that they were probably never seen the light of day. And then everything after that is electronic news gathering of things I went out into the field and actually videotaped. Now, what you're going to see is there's one girls basketball game, when in reality I shot 2 girls basketball games, 1 boys basketball game, and yeah, that's about all sports. But for some reason, I did not capture 2 of those games. I don't know what happened to them. So you're going to see 1 girls basketball game. You are going to see 3 Knox County Council meetings, 3 different events. Now relax. I didn't have the whole meeting. There was no way I was going to be able to shoot the entire meeting. And as a matter of fact, even when I put them on this tape, I just took some highlights and some of my shots that I did, and you can see I was at the time still quite learning how to compose, learning how to focus a video camera. So yeah, you're gonna see some things. You're going, well, this guy considers himself a professional, but yeah. And also keep in mind that this was at the time when television was still, especially when you're doing news, was still in the 4:3 aspect ratio. And so yeah, and we had not, our WVUT, which is a station that broadcasts at Vincennes University, it's a PBS affiliate, at the time had just converted to HD. But our local programming had not been converted to HD. What we were broadcasting in HD was coming directly from PBS, and so it was 24 hours PBS. But it was watermarked on the station, WVUT digital. Okay, well, but at the time we were still very much 4:3 standard definition in terms of our local programming. Now they have since upgraded to HD, so they have caught up with the times. But at the time they were still broadcasting in standard definition. But it wasn't too many more years, I think 1 or 2 more years later, that they had finally made the conversion to HD and in widescreen for the news broadcasts. So what you're going to see is at least, let's see, 2006. It's at least 14 years old. So if you are in these videos as a citizen of Knox County, no, I was not trying to be a creep. I was there to shoot some video for a grade, for a class, and I'm just saving everything. So yeah, if you see yourself in these videos, if you're from Knox County, Indiana, around the Vincennes area, and you see yourself, that was probably me, and do not think of me as being creepy or just lounging around and videotaping you for no reason. I was there to do a job for a grade, so there you go. So do take a look at this. Enjoy. It may be a little boring to you, but you know what? If not, just skip over it. I'm also going to be working on converting the rest of my newscasts that our class was involved with. So, and I've got 3 more tapes left, at least two, and they were recorded at the 6-hour speed. So there's at least 12 more hours worth of, at least 12, if not more than that, hours worth of our newscasts. And I'm even going to put on our graduation. I do have that videotape, so do stay tuned if you want to see what we looked like in 2006. So there you go. So, but first, here's my video projects tape. That's why I just labeled it as video projects, because it was just random things. Not only was it editing projects, but also it was the ENG shoots. So let's roll the tape.
When you help the Make-A-Wish Foundation grant wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses, you give them the gift of hope, strength, and joy. You may find your own life as greatly enriched as the families whose lives are changed with precious memories that last a lifetime. To find out about opportunities to volunteer, donate, or refer a child for a wish, please visit our website at wish.org or contact your local Make-A-Wish chapter at 317-636-6060. When you help the Make-A-Wish Foundation grant wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses, you give them the gift of hope, strength, and joy. You may find your own life as greatly enriched as the families whose lives are changed with precious memories that last a lifetime. To find out about opportunities to volunteer, donate, or refer a child for a wish, please visit our website at wish.org or contact your local Make-A-Wish chapter at 317-636-6060.
When you help the Make-A-Wish Foundation grant wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses, you give them the gift of hope, strength, and joy. You may find your own life is greatly enriched as the families whose lives are changed with precious memories that last a lifetime. To find out more about opportunities to volunteer, donate, or refer a child for a wish, please visit our website at wish.org or contact your local Make-A-Wish chapter at 317-636-6060.
Ford Motor Company is recalling 50,000 brand new Explorers. The automaker says an assembly line conveyor belt that was too narrow for the wider 2002 model may have cut the tire tread. The recall includes 50,000 four-door Explorers built at Ford's plant in Louisville. When the sport utility vehicles were loaded too far to the right on the conveyor belt, it left cuts 5 to 9 inches long and a ½ inch deep in one or both of the right tire treads. A Ford official says the cuts do not affect tire performance. The official says Ford has had no reports of accidents or injuries because of the problem. It's the second recall of a 3-month-old redesigned model that was scrutinized to prevent such problems after last year's Firestone tire recall. Ford has installed a toll-free number for answering any questions. 1-888-555-5653. Ford Motor Company is recalling 50,000 brand new Explorers. The automaker says an assembly line conveyor belt that was too narrow for the wider 2002 model may have cut the tire tread. The recall includes 50,000 four-door Explorers built at Ford's plant in Louisville. When the sport utility vehicles were loaded too far to the right on the conveyor belt, it left cuts 5 to 9 inches long and a ½ inch deep in one or both of the right tire treads. A Ford official says the cuts do not affect tire performance. The official says Ford has had no reports of accidents or injuries because of the problem. It's the second recall of a 3-month-old redesigned model that was scrutinized to prevent such problems after last year's Firestone tire recall. Ford has installed a toll-free number for answering any questions. 1-888-555-5653. 5653.
Vincennes University, Indiana's first college.
Whether you want to get a jump start on a 4-year degree
Or are looking for the training that will help you toward a rewarding career. When planning for your future,
make your first choice Indiana's first college.
Yes, I will have a career in restaurant food management at Vincennes University.
Excellent choice.
The food service industry is on fire, with 2 career families dining in and out. Like the sound of this? Cha-ching. Vincennes University graduates are getting jobs as soon as they are available. It is not unusual for a good manager to make $30,000 just after the first 2 years in fast food. They can expect exceptional benefits and great advancement opportunities. This can happen for you here at Vincennes University with a degree in restaurant food management. Sounds too good to be true? Well, check this out.
This is not your average classroom. Have fun while learning new and exciting methods that will put you top of the class. Learn a variety of skills in an educational program that will make you forget you're in school. Place an order in restaurant food management at Vincennes University, and this can happen to you.
I've taken my degree and I applied it at Garfield's Restaurant Pub, a restaurant that I'd already been working at throughout my career here at the university, and accepted the position of the front of house manager, which means I'm specifically in charge of servers, bartenders, and the hosts and hostesses. So pretty much the area of the general public's eye, what they see is what I control, or at least attempt to.
Vincennes University has outstanding facilities and faculty.
preparing students of all ages for better careers in technology, business, healthcare, and much more.
Call VU today, 1-800-742-9198.
To see what VU can offer you.
When you help the Make-A-Wish Foundation grant wishes for children with life-threatening illnesses, you give them the gift of hope, strength, and joy. You may find your own life is greatly enriched as the families whose lives are changed with precious memories that last a lifetime. To find out more about opportunities to volunteer, donate, or refer a child for a wish, please visit our website at wish.org or contact your local Make-A-Wish chapter at 317-636-6060.
International. CJ, your ball club just really couldn't get anything established offensively tonight.
Again, you're right. We knew that the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game was going to be determine the flow of this game, and as much as you try to prepare young ladies for that, North Knox is the best team that we've played in this past month of basketball. We have played some good basketball, but again, they came out with a game plan that it definitely worked, and the kids had a great second half of the year. Again, we didn't finish this last game. Didn't finish like we wanted, but it definitely isn't indicative of what the kind of year we had and what we're capable of doing down the road.
But the future's bright. A lot of these young girls are coming back for next season.
Yeah, we got a lot of these girls back. Kaylee Harper was our only senior. We will miss her. She's a fantastic young lady, great student. We also lose a manager, Micah Wallace. He was our bookkeeper. We'll lose him as well. But you're right, we got a lot of kids back, a lot of scoring back. And again, what we've got to be able to do is our young ladies have to make that commitment to move our game up to this next level. North Knox and the Mitchells, those types of teams are the level that I aspire to be and play at that level. We did a great job of becoming a more competitive basketball team. But we need to move to that next level, and that's what our girls have to make that commitment in this off season. Thank you.
Down to new business and the amendment to salary amendments. Okay. First one I've got is the Knox County Health Immunization Nurse. And this brings up a question that Councilman Ivers had. Last month it was 9,000. This month it's 10,000. Did we advertise this?
Yes. And more or less through the conversation, and I'd be glad to say it here again. I feel this is something that needs to be hashed out with the director, and I don't think it's up to Debbie, or I would even go so far as sit down with their board. I don't know if all the board members, if there was a quorum present when they voted for it, how many members was there to vote this. I myself have not had a conversation with Dr. Jackson.
In her and I's discussion, I'm confused about what we did last fall. I need to look into the minutes about whether we approved this position change last fall. She believes that sometime last fall we approved this particular position change.
Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Township assessment.
Mr. President, you may want to do that all line items to individual
My line item.
in your budget.
I have the number here if you wish.
It's on your own instead of the individual.
What's the fund number?
110-11100. Quietly serve and do well at it, and
Sounds like me.
sometimes in the hustle and bustle
Out of order.
in the hustle and bustle of budget hearings, I think we just overlooked it.
Can you ask for that? Awkward, I think, to single out one person, but quick count, I come up with 12 part-time
weights and measures part-time, we've got deputy coroners, we've got E911s part-time, and I just counted, I think it was 13 trustees and assessors that we all handled the same way. I like Max, but I don't know if it's appropriate to single somebody out.
You're not buying a bridge truck. You're buying another truck to replace the shop truck. On 214, we had part-time immunization nurses. How much was that, since we're on 214 now?
Immunization nurse, 26,021.
No, it'd be item.
Oh, part-time, 16,000. Highway maintenance, repair.
Truck drivers, we had 222,048, and then we had 152,659.
Yes.
Quarter payment.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's fairly convoluted, and
we're still waiting on those figures. 412,000 is what we have. Would be the absolute maximum that we could get. So, okay.
And actually went in and looked at the investment, or the asbestos, or pavement, and all that kind of stuff. It was less than what we thought.
Yeah, good.
So it worked out pretty well there. So that worked out.
Calling citizens who utilize this court daily. I want to thank you and the county council for a long-awaited positive step forward in providing courtroom security for the 3 courts of our county. I want to say personally it has already made a recognizable difference in the candor and the
replacement credit. It was sent in December 05.
A connection. They tell me that. I don't know. I think they had a connection on time.
Have a plaque with his name. Jim, you handed out a paper tonight. What options are the commissioners considering for the Hillcrest building at this point?
Well, we're trying to be open-minded about it as we receive information about the fire and the amount of money that we're actually going to receive. The most we can receive is $412,000. So we're trying to test the structure to see if it's really the appropriate thing to do to rebuild the structure, or should we tear the structure down and relocate, or tear the structure down and sell the property, and then possibly take some of that insurance money and invest it into the old jail, or maybe a new building on the present site, or a new building at the new jail. So there's just a lot of options, and we want everybody's input on that as we try to wade through those decision-making details. And it's an opportunity for Knox County, actually, to probably address some long-term issues we need to face anyway.
Did I understand you right when you told the council that from a financial standpoint, you might receive more money or more of a settlement if the Hillcrest building was demolished?
As we wait on the figures of what it will take to remodel the building, it could figure. I'm not going to say it will until we actually see the numbers from the insurance company, but they tell me it might be to best interest for us to tear the building down.
Would that be a valuable piece of property?
It seems to be. There seems to be some interest in the property. If we elected to sell the property, it has potential, as all property would have. Yeah, we're just trying to be open-minded presently, and there may be other suggestions from the public that we need to review.
Thank you.
Knox County Council initiated a plan to hold meetings at locations throughout Knox County, but outside the city of Vincennes, for the purpose of better enabling all Knox County citizens to attend and participate in the functions of county government. And whereas on Tuesday, March 14th,
why are we building, or why is Synergy looking for an IGCC plant? Why for Representative Woodruff, last year we passed Senate Bill 378. That gives us basically about $75 million of state incentives, investment tax. The amount is 26.6 or 26.7 this next week. After that, we'll go back in front of the Redevelopment Commission for approval. And then on April 11th, we'll actually come back here, assuming the step 5 and step 6 is approved, we'll come back.
I will try to answer this number first. That basically, I think, is from your guidance on what this project is. For those actually tax abatements, and then we have two other attorneys here, they have to come to the city. Thanks, Mayor. Thank you.
Any other concerns, Councilman Massey? No. Any other?
Greg, what was the document that you had the county council sign tonight?
Yeah, that was a declaratory resolution for the economic revitalization area for the 403 acres. That's the first step of the tax abatement process.
And then next month, what are you going to have the council come back to the council and have them sign?
Yeah, we'll have them come back. We'll come back on April 11th and ask them to approve the 10-year real and personal property tax abatement.
Now, this is the tax abatement on the development itself. If the plant, if everything goes okay and the plant is built, this will give you some room to help finance its construction by phasing in the taxes on it.
That's correct. How tax abatement works is basically a 10-year abatement where the first year is 100% abated, the second year is 90%, and then in the 10th year, 10% of the property is abated. So this is an incentive that we're asking the county to help us bridge that cost gap, that financial cost gap between a pulverized coal plant and the integrated gasification combined cycle plant that we're trying to build here.
And you mentioned you still got some hoops to go through before we really see whether or not this is an actual reality. You mentioned about closing about a $200 million gap in financing construction of this plant.
Yes, there's up to a 20% differential between a pulverized coal plant and the integrated gasification combined cycle facility. And that's what we're trying to close. The TIF and the tax abatement will help bridge most of that gap, along with our state incentives, and then we'll be going after federal incentives also.
Before the train gets here, what are some of the incentives to Knox County in building this plant here?
Well, the incentives are monumental in our opinion. 77 to 97 permanent high-paying jobs, $5 to $7 million of direct salary and wages and benefits. That equals out to about $74,000 a year, salary and wages. Also, we'll be spending about $40 million a year in Indiana coal cost, purchasing Indiana coal. It's been testified at the State House that $40 million expenditure will provide 233 mining jobs. We'll be spending about $40 to $60 million annually a year in operation and maintenance costs. But the big benefit of this project is in the property tax arena. Even with the 10-year abatement and the 45% TIF reimbursement, through the first 10 years of operations, we'll plan on paying about $22.2 million in property taxes that will not have to be paid by the farmers or the homeowners or other commercial or industrial customers, industries.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
Yep.
A new jail to house appeals and prisoners. One thing they want to do with allow folks to use Knox County for treatment, holding, and also. In other words, we can simply put this through a whole money into a general fund to use without a specific.
So we're already down to about half of what it would normally have been. Then when we passed the law that allowed us or prevented us from increasing our tax levy back to where it had been, that put us behind the eight ball last year. And we ended up with a cash flow
experiencing a budget shortfall until receiving the next tax distribution. They said that we can't do anything until forfeiture is filed by call manager's office. And he sent in statements where he had bought a boat and a car many years ago.
With money, we got everything set, we got the grant, and then Hurricane Katrina happened. And I think you all know what happened with the price of lumber and metal. But we have reworked our plans, we dropped the day off, we dropped all the...
We had our meeting there a year ago in November, where the City Hall is very, very small. And I think that it's important that
Also, outside of the Christian church.
Except for sidewalks and what?
and the shortfall they ran on the foundation, they got bad soil samples. I think they put some pylons down.
We have put steel pipe.
That we had in November. If you remember, I said for the little street here, and she tried to explain what we want. Okay. My bookkeeper thought we were asking for $34,000, and that's what we had left in the budget. I thought we were asking for $20,000 because that's what we thought we spent, and she didn't have any idea what we had.
Council tonight, apparently you're needing some additional money to complete the fire station.
To get it put up to where we really wanted it to be, yeah.
You mentioned that you're needing some money for what, foundation work?
Well, we had they put that on to us after we got everything approved, that we had to do some more work on the foundation. The soil boring said it wouldn't hold the weight, so we have to go around every 5 foot with metal augers and go down 22 foot and put a plate down there to support.
What they were saying, the soil around there
was it was too far down to the ground, to the rock, yeah.
Okay, so this money tonight, that'll go for foundation work?
Well, we've got the foundation covered, but right now we're just almost out of money. I mean, you know, if something else comes up, we're sunk. And so we're hoping to get the other bay put on and do the concrete work around the edge of it, yeah.
The original plans called for 4 bays?
Call for 4 bays, yeah.
And you've had to eliminate one of those?
We've eliminated 1 bay and concrete work, and well, like I told them, even the cabinets out of the kitchen we've eliminated.
Just because of additional costs associated with this, and I think you mentioned Hurricane Katrina.
Well, you know, after the hurricane, steel prices and wood prices just went sky high, and so that really is what run us into the hole, yeah.
How much money did Wheatland receive under the grant?
Well, our total budget was $379,000. Now we put I think it was 14% matching to that. I think the grant was $350,000, and we put the rest as matching funds.
And where did the grant come from?
It's called the Southern Indiana Development. It's a federal grant, but the Indiana approves it and passes them out.
With the money you have now, when do you expect to begin construction? Or
The construction started yesterday, and it's due to be done the 30th of November is their due date that they have to be out and done.
Is this the Steen Township?
Yeah, it used to be called the Wheatland Fire Department, and we reorganized and we called it Steen Township, yeah.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to mention about the project?
Well, it's just been a long time coming. We've needed it for a long time, and I guess we're finally going to get it.
You've got 2 bays now, right, in the old?
2 bays, yeah, and we got 4 trucks in there.
4 trucks?
We stack them back to back, and you know, our pumper sets and our tanker sets behind it. If somebody calls and needs a tanker and not the pumper, we have to pull the pumper out to get the tanker and then back it in. So, you know, it's a pain, to be honest with you.
All right. Thank you very much,
Okay.
sir. Appreciate it.
And then, at the end of that time, once that took place and happened, $260,000 was go back to the jail. Instead of increase the bond of $260,000, they just referred back to get reimbursed with the other funds.
I understand that. Here was my question.
Move into the last part of the agenda regarding synergy is an additional appropriation for 2006. Terry, you want to address that?
This
while Terry and the school have prepared some drinks and some cookies.
As I understand it, the county's budget has been denied by the state, so where do you stand right now?
Well, Tony, we just found out that the budget is actually $111,000 less than last year. Previously, they said they froze it, so we thought we were going to really be zeroed out, but in fact, it's worse than that. Originally, when we set the budget, we'd been told to expect about a $200,000 increase, so in effect, this is over a $300,000 shift.
Okay. What does that do to the salary raises that were promised to county employees?
We're going to have to cut your salary, Tony, but other than that, we'll be okay. No, we made a commitment to county employees, and we're not going to go back on that. That won't change at this time. The Budget and Finance Committee will have to review the budget and see if there's any changes that need to be made, but it won't be there.
Bob, any appropriations that the council approves, expenditures, will that have to be approved by the state then? Will that have to go through the state since the budget's frozen?
Absolutely, Tony, that's right. And of course, you know, thinking that there's a certain amount of money that's going to be approved and finding out it's less, we're going to have to take a really hard look at any additional appropriations from now on.
You mentioned bringing in Kurt Coonrod as a financial consultant. He's worked with the county in the past. What's the scope of work that you're going to ask Kurt to do?
Well, actually, we're going to sit down with him and define that. I know that sounds a bit odd, but Kurt has already indicated that there are some possibilities that we can appeal. We're going to look into those, see if it is possible. Also, we're going to take a look forward as far as doing some trend analysis. And I think when we sit down with him and spend a couple hours with him, we'll probably have a better answer to that question.
Will he do any work to kind of help you get ready for the upcoming budget year?
I think that'll be discussed. That's something that I've got on the agenda. And obviously going into next year with the new jail, and it's going to be a huge increase in operating expenses. So we need to be very sure that everything this year goes exactly right, because we can't afford to do otherwise.
Bob, nice turnout tonight here at North Knox East Elementary and Junior High. And obviously we're all hoping that Synergy will build that new coal gasification plant here. Tonight, is the council going to review the statement of benefits that's being proposed?
Huge turnout, first of all. I am really excited with the crowd that's here from the North Knox area. We're going to review the statement of benefits. In that, Synergy will identify how much they're going to spend on the project, how many employees, what the payroll will be, and then we'll start addressing the tax abatements and tax incentives to bring them here.
Everybody kind of gets confused when we're talking about tax abatements. Even in the first year that tax abatement's in effect, the county will still be receiving revenue, won't they?
That's a great question, and most people don't realize that, so I'm glad you asked it. And it's exactly the way it works. It's depreciating scale. So it starts out at 100% and then decreases down to 0 over 10 years' time. I believe Synergy is going to make an announcement today, too, regarding something that they're going to announce regarding property taxes. So we'll stay tuned for that.
Okay, but is this going to be a 10-year tax abatement on property and equipment that they would include in the facility?
Yes, it'll be a 10-year tax abatement, and there will also be a TIF district involved with that. Some of those funds will flow through to the county and obviously to the school corporation, and that's what we're really excited about. Is this going to be a big boost to the North Knox School Corporation, and we've worked hard to bring it here, and I think as you can tell by the turnout tonight, they're pretty excited.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Okay, I appreciate it.
One thing 95.5% of our shareholders approved that merger, which I think says a lot. I also want to, at any time again, you can ask any question that you see fit. First, let's talk about the feasibility study. The initial feasibility study was completed back in September of 2005. At that point in time, it was authorized by our company to go with a preliminary FEED study. Now, FEED study is a front-end engineering and design of the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission to get approval to build this plant. What's significant about that phase is that single year. Last year, at the plant, I thought I had this on the damn, but I don't. It was a lot less, let's just say that. Okay? So